What's going on, internet? I am the Masked Man. I don't know if there's a glare on the screen. It's kind of difficult for me to see the screen. I'm in the car, so I'm trying to figure out um, if you can see me good. But I got a viewer request for a video, so you know me. I try to knock them out as get to that as quickly as possible. Give it priority. I didn't plan on releasing another video after the R. Kelly thing because I really don't have, I really didn't have a lot of time, today because I work nights and I work the weekend. So, this is kind of my wind up period where I just, post, do some bullshit and then go to sleep for the rest of the day. But I think I had time for this one. There was a guy sent me he commented in on one of my videos and he asked that I watch a Facebook video. Now let me go back to exactly what he said. Now I will leave a link to the video so you can check it out for yourself. But he goes, good morning, my brother. Wanted to say to you, good morning, my brother. Wanted to say you put forth some good videos. You asked me to let you know what I would like to see a video on. Here it is. Check this out and give your insight overall about this problem in the black community. Now, I watched the video and it was kind of difficult to figure out what was going on in this video. Now, it wasn't about, the video was about 2 minutes long. I didn't quite grasp what was going on until about a minute and a half into the video. And then I read the comments to make sure that I had got it correct. Apparently, some lady on the bus either spit on or spit at a man on the bus, and he had on like a construction worker's uniform. He had a hard hat on, and the video opens up with him, beating up this guy. So after about 30 or 40 seconds, you see this girl trying to, push, this man who's attacking this other man off of the man that's on the ground. And you come to find out that that man was her man. So she spit at or spit on or just was spitting on the bus for some random purpose. And that led him to beat the shit out of her man. Now there was a few comments, and I think a white guy said that's why I keep, a 40 cal, weapon. I'm ready to blow fools away at any moment. And I think, some people said that he should have whooped her ass. He didn't, or he just didn't have no business doing it at all. One thing I will say, now I kind of made a video that was kind of negative, responding to Charlamagne's opinion and his disposition on R. Kelly. I was very disagreeable with his opinion, but I said in that video that I really do respect Charlamagne as a sincere individual. Some people don't like him. Some people think he's gossipy. Some people call him a coon, but living life as a black person in America is a very peculiar experience. It's a very unique experience, and how somebody deals with the trauma of growing up in this system as a black person, and especially a black man, that's a very hard road to walk. So I like to cut people some slack when it comes to what does and what doesn't constitute somebody who is a sellout or a traitor or just overall bad for the race. I like to think about it thoroughly. But one thing he says often is that you cannot control what somebody's reaction is. If you push somebody and somebody pulls out a gun and shoots you, that's what you get. You never should have shoved them to begin with. It's like, I don't think what I saw in this video is, an example of some large, problem in the black community, some overarching problem. Either this bitch was nasty for just spitting on a bus or near somebody else instead of spitting into a hand or spitting into a napkin or spitting on her boyfriend's dick. She was just nasty for just spitting out in the open where it could land on somebody. Or she was doing something that was as rude and as disrespectful as you could possibly do to another human being. So unless y'all just freaky like that. But so I don't like, that was his reaction to what she did. Maybe she meant to do it, maybe she didn't mean to do it, but it's not really that much to say about it. It's like she did an action, that was his reaction. He figured that the charge and the social stigma of whooping her man's ass was less than whooping her ass. Some people would say that's what you're supposed to do. If somebody's woman is being disrespectful to you, if somebody's woman is attacking you, is challenging your manhood, then you gotta deal with the man. You don't deal with the woman like that. That's a lot of people's opinion. You don't go after no woman. That's a woman. She can't deal with you. She can't handle you. People say that all the time. So he took his anger, he took his aggression out on her man. So he's like, the message was, if you want to be with this bitch, this is what you gonna have to deal with if you don't put her in check. If you don't train your bitch, you gonna get your ass beat in these streets. So that man who got his ass whooped learned a valuable lesson that day, to either not deal with women like that or learn how to train your bitch. But as always, I try to figure out what you mean behind what you say. Now, what I think you mean is the problem of black people being overly aggressive, overly violent, animalistic in their behavior. Honestly, black people, we're just, we're aggressive people. We're just energetic people. We respond to situations differently, and we have a different experience. There is no group like us. There's no group that's went through what we went through. There's nobody that compares to our suffering, nobody that compares to our treatment. There's nobody that compares. There's nobody. So we gotta have an adjustment for how we look at what black people do and when black people do wrong versus somebody else who had more opportunities to do right. They purposely broke down the family in the black community, and what you had left was full of suffering and mistreatment. So they broke the family, and then they gave it a disease for whatever was intact. So even the intact families are still sick and still suffering. So what black people do is just, we just have to get into a situation where we ain't got to ride the subway, you know, with bums and crazy people and people working minimum wage jobs and nasty bitches on welfare that just spit in front of people, just spit next to people. We got to have a change in circumstance. Now, maybe that, I don't know what that was. It was somewhere with a subway. So maybe that's just how everybody, rich or poor, travels in that area. But we just have to have, we need a massive, you know, training mechanism. One thing that I say because it's a major weakness of mine, and one thing I will say because I see the weakness in other people, is schools should train people on how to communicate with other people. It's one of the most basic things that you could possibly think of, but they never actually instruct you on conversation and communication, like as a part of the curriculum from kindergarten all the way up to the college level. There should be college level communicators, but it seems like everybody else is, it seems like 99% of the world is operating on a preschool to kindergarten level of communication. Now, they may be damn good speakers, damn good lecturers, damn good, you know, talkers, but communication is a two-way street, not a one-way street. Most people are, if they're good, they're very good in one direction at saying what they gotta say, but not hearing what somebody has to say to them. The back and forth is not good with most people. So black people, we need to learn how to communicate. We need to learn how to communicate and stop just making rash, impulsive decisions that we have to live with. That bitch didn't have to spit for whatever reason that she did. And if she was obviously visibly sick, then that would have been seen within the video, because she followed the man off the train after he left. And that man didn't have to overreact. If she spit on him or at him, that is a form of assault. Somebody spitting on you is a form of assault. You don't know what kind of disease that nasty bitch had. You don't know what she got. So that's a form of assault. So don't just react. Take a minute and think, and just call the authorities. You know, give it a description. Maybe find somebody who can detain her. Like, I don't know what you're willing to do to punish a bitch that spit on you, because once she leaves the train, it's probably going to be hard to find her. But you can take a picture of her. I'm sure that nigga had a phone. You can get somebody to take a picture of her. There was plenty of people with camera phones on the train. Get somebody to take a photograph. You know, let everybody know that she spit on you and that you want to press charges, and that's the end of it. It's like communication, common sense, knowing what your options are. All of this is important to being civilized. And I think that your question was about, why aren't blacks more civilized? Well, we're not civilized because we were dehumanized and then casted into society, and then still mess with and still, you know, being given, you know, the business, for lack of a better term. They're still giving us the business after all these years. Flint, Michigan is a good example of how they'll give niggas the business. They had clean water, and they switched over to a system that they didn't need to switch over to, just to give niggas water that couldn't kill them. And you expect niggas to be civilized? How? How are niggas supposed to be civilized when we dealing with shit like that? So the only way we get to being civilized is we have to communicate, and communicate well, form relationships with people who have some level of sanity, and make moves together. Pool what little resources we have and do business with the resources we have. Transfer and exchange and play Monopoly in this game. But I'm not an expert on how to do that. I don't even have any friends in real life. That's how good of a communicator I am. Everybody who has a conversation with me, is probably asking me, why aren't I doing better? Why don't I have a better job? Why am I not working harder to get a better job? They have no interest in what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, what the plan is. They don't even have a good plan for me. They just want me to keep making moves with no strategy. So I'm here to learn. I'm not here to teach. I don't really know or have all the answers. I don't know why blacks are doing what it is that you think that black people are doing. I don't know what you saw in the video. I don't know I don't know what you meant. I don't know what it is that you wanted me to see. So when you watch this video, if you watch the whole video, let me know what it is that you saw, and let me know what you think the problem is. And then maybe I can have a better understanding of what's going on. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. You can leave what you think in the comments. Rate the video, like it, dislike it, subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with what videos that I am making. If you want to send me a question or send me an email, you can send me that at themrmassman@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter and find me on Facebook at @TheMrMassman. That is all I have to say about this subject. So I will see you in the next video.